Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game 2 between Thunder, Awaken, and Tempest. Did you get another pillow, Winter? Why is it growing?
No, it's the same one. Sorry,
The
it's the
same
same
one?
one. It's the same
Okay,
one.
okay. I'm sorry. It looked bigger. Let's go to the draft. That's what you talk about game number 2 between Thunder, Awaken, and Tempest. Right, you said Tempest is missing something. Is there anything in the draft you would suggest to maybe fix that something?
I think they're figuring it out by just banning Weaver. I think Abaddon is a decent ban here too. They need to respect. I think when you start a series by just losing against these heroes that just destroyed the last game, I think it's worth to ban. It's a BO3, so everything counts.
Sure.
Maybe stick to the classic Kotar stuff. You know, just get some Medusa, get some hero that fights pretty soon, and just go. Oh, they just banned Snap. Never mind, guys. Let Abaddon pass.
Okay. Do you first pick the Abaddon then Thunder Awaken? No.
Do you need to?
Surely. Surely there are better heroes. Okay, yeah, they do think they're better heroes. Tiny, which they flex in the 4 and the 2 position. Less so on the carry these days. You okay, Winter?
No, no. I have
okay.
itchy throat syndrome.
Is it because of the excitement of watching this game?
No, because I had a little too many biscuits. You want some? I can save some for you.
No, I would wish you would take my cue and not tell me about what you're eating and just tell me about what. God damn it! All right, Winter, tell me about this draft. Tempest is going for the Viper. Just analyze it for me, please.
Viper pause 5. We're back. The SA special.
Right, lovely. Thank you so much for that in-depth analysis, Winter. Right, we've seen the Viper kind of come back into play these days, a lot as a core, a lot as a 5. Do you value the pick as highly as people are doing, or do you think it's a little bit overrated right now? It's not just an SA.
I think it's good, but most of the teams know how to deal against this hero nowadays. You know, back in the day, like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, when someone picks Viper, everyone was in shock. But I think they're just trying to make sure they don't get stomped on the lanes like they did last game. So Viper just guarantees that. And
Fair.
it kind of just makes sure some heroes are not so favorite to pick. You know, he deals against some heroes.
It is weird they picked Viper this early and left the Abandoned, because that takes away the 3 Viper as a potential position, no?
Yeah, it's not usual to just first pick Viper.
Okay, Winter.
What's up?
Tell me about this bad.
Well, I think I kind of like the fact that like Ryo pointed out, because the last game, the laning phase, when I don't think it's that bad, but they did lose they did lose both they kind of lost both the side lanes. So going for something that's much better in the lane for sure is definitely gonna help them in the game, because you have to be able to play the lane so that you can play the game. If you can't play the lane, then the later part of the game is gonna be pretty hard for you.
Right.
Yeah, they're aiming for the lanes phase by just picking Marcy too. You want to make sure they win both lanes.
Yeah, you talked about how Sladin is either a Tiny or a Marcy spammer, right? So you like him on these heroes.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think Marcy is like considered like also a broken hero? Like how I feel like the rebound and the repositioning with this post actually is too much for the game.
But she doesn't win that much though.
Yeah, but 45% movement speed bonus with the buff.
No, I agree, but she doesn't she rarely wins, so clearly doesn't feel that strong, right? Even if on paper she's strong.
I honestly think that the Marcy, the biggest thing for Marcy, it's what everyone is ignoring, is that sidekick. Sidekick is super broken, I think, and most of the teams are not valuing this skill. I played on an Epulze tournament a couple days ago.
Shout out.
With a mix, and man, Marcy just used sidekick on Life Stealer, and Life Stealer went from 100 HP to full HP by just right clicking everyone. I think this this
Yeah.
spell is super broken.
Exactly. I just said that his first 2 spells are broken, and you're telling me his 3rd spell is also broken. So he has 3 broken spells. Why?
Yeah, but why is the win rate so bad then, Winter? Explain
Because
it to me.
people can't
Why
play
is
the
it-
hero. It takes
Oh,
time,
okay,
you
so
know.
people-
When a new hero gets introduced in the CM, you gotta give them time to practice the hero.
Okay, so you think people are bad? That's what you're saying, Winter.
People play the hero not at its fullest potential. Don't put words in my mouth.
All right, Winter. He's calling all players trash, unable to learn a hero in just 2 months. Pretty harsh words from you, Winter, I'd say. But Slavin
Oh my
has
God.
certainly learned it, so we're gonna see some good performances for the Marcy. Would you like it, bro? You were then if they went for like max sidekick, even as a 4 Marcy, or do you not think that's the build? Like, what do you think they should build then?
It seems interesting, but they need a carry that gets valuable from this. You know, they need something
Right.
that needs life steal, like life stealer, or I don't know, maybe a right click carry like Troll. You know,
Yeah, true
But
is nice.
but I don't know. I feel like after the lane phase here is just strange. He doesn't have that impact, and he just died in the fights.
I feel it's
kinda
the
traumatized.
items. It's the items that you get, you know. Like people maybe they aren't really sure, because I feel like sometimes you need to buy blink on the hero. Like I think
Yep.
people are just buying the lens so much that if you don't have a blink, sometimes it's hard for you to get your job done. If you don't have a rebound target and you need to do the initiation first, and you don't have a blink, then it's hard for you to get your job done.
I agree.
Yep.
Rebound also takes forever, so they can stop you midair. Like, it's pretty easy animation to cancel.
I've seen KJ playing this hero, and he was just rushing shard, and I think it was kind of decent because the shard it's a second rebound. But I don't know. People
Rush.
are trying to figure out this hero.
Interesting. Guess people don't know what shard does because you never see it in competitive. It makes it so that you can use the rebound to throw your teammates as well.
Oh, okay. But wouldn't it
so
still be
you-
better for you to get a dagger just to initiate?
Well, because the idea there is you play a save, right? You play only save Marcy, and so the goal is to have dispose and rebound both to save your teammates.
Then it doesn't feel like a position 4.
No, that's the 5. That's what KJ plays.
Oh, as a fair. Oh, okay, sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
As a 5.
Of course, Winter,
okay.
if you knew the position KJ plays, then you wouldn't ask these questions. But here we are. Phoenix has been picked here by Tempest. That's a famous Wu hero, but this means Viper is in a core position. What are your thoughts on this, Winter? Do you think this is a good Viper core game? Is it a good Phoenix 5 game?
Tiny sucks at hitting the egg. If it's a call cut Tiny, I can tell you that.
True, but doesn't a Photic Shield kind of nullify the Phoenix pick by a great amount?
I mean, yeah, you can put it that way, but at the end of the day, like Tiny is gonna struggle in some one way or another if it's a core hitting the egg, and it gives you like I feel like when you pair Marcy as a position 4, you kind of want the 5 to be like a team fight hero because Marcy doesn't provide as much in terms of like team fighting. He's like more like a catch, a save, or buff.
Sure.
And having a position 5 that gives you a lot of team fight definitely pairs well with Marcy.
Yeah.
I feel
can see
like
that.
Tempest is just giving Abaddon a free game. Like, they don't
Giving
have any
Abaddon,
controls.
giving a pause 5 a free game, you know.
Yeah, like it's a perfect game for Abaddon.
It really
The-
is.
Low stuns, he can heal too much. Void Spirit is going to try to deal against Abba when he gets Ags, but I don't think it's enough.
How's the Void Spirit versus Tiny matchup, by the way, where you're in game and in lane?
In the lane phase, if it's 50-50, I think.
Okay.
Most of the matchups that we get spirits on the mid lane, it's always 50-50. It depends too much on the player itself. But on the
Okay.
game, I think Tiny is decent against Void Spirit because of the burst damage.
Fair. What do you think Thunder Awaken should pick here as a carry, Winter?
Let's see. I think they need an egg. For sure, they need someone to hit the egg. Like ideally, like a range hero. Like I think throw would actually be okay as well to kill the egg, or like a Juggernaut. Just anything that can just go in. And, there's no more Juggernaut. They just ban it. Just
Yep.
need something to hit
That's
the
a
egg
good
because
call.
the other heroes are not. I mean, Mirana can kind of hit the egg, But she's a support, so you can't count on her to hit the egg all the time.
Right. So what are the heroes? Would like a lifestealer work, for example? Would you be okay with that, or is the hero a bit too bad?
That's fine too. I'm also considering like maybe Lina, and you put the Tiny as carry, and you put a mid Lina. That's what I'm considering.
It's not Mago, Winter. I'm sorry. I mean, you're probably right, but it's just not how this team does things.
Yeah, I understand.
Remember how last game you guys were talking about the strength of Weaver carry? I was like, it's just not going to be played as a carry. It's just not how this team does things. I do like the idea though of what you're saying, a neck hitter. Or what would you be thinking for Thunder Awaken?
I think they're going to pick some classic Pakaz stuff, maybe Morphling again. I think Ursa, it's good this game. It's bad in the lane against Viper, but in the game, I think it's super dope.
That's true. The Morphling also seems pretty good, right? Seems like a kind of decent Morphling game.
I feel like it's going to be Morphling Ursa.
They removed the morphing already. They banned the morphing.
Oh, thank you, Winter.
Oh, my bad.
You're welcome, Alvaro.
That was a very genuine comment, and you responded very sarcastically, Winter. So, if they don't pick Lina here, Winter, what would you lose? What would you bet on that pick?
Why do you need me to bet on all the picks?
It makes life interesting,
This is not a free PL game. They just been Bloodseeker.
Yeah, it could be actually.
Yeah, they don't have at the moment they don't have good heroes against PL.
Yeah, what would Kotaro pick? Like Sven? I mean, he is.
Yeah, there's Sven, but I think Sven gets to suffer in the lane. Oh, Luna.
Oh,
okay.
just a basic hero. Yeah.
Never mind.
How do you answer now, Winter? Tell me. What's the answer by a Tempest?
Hey, it does give them team fight. Not exactly the egg hitter that I was, having in mind, because Luna is kind of like a half range hero, not a full range hero. But
yeah, sure.
But I mean, Luna's laning phase, they get buff quite a bit with the change, with the buff to Lucent Beam. But against Viper, if it's a Viper off lane, I feel like Luna is still gonna get harassed a lot in the lane. Oh, so now the classic Luna counter, the Terrorblade, the Reflection. They have a.
I was going to say TB, but I think this is a strange TB game. Do you have the lane phase so strong? Like they have Sand King and Mirana. TB is going to suffer the game. I was going to
talk. He has Phoenix in his lane. Oh my god!
I was going to talk to maybe TB to counter Luna, but man, this is a terrible TB game. I'm a big TB fan, like RTO, but I don't know. It's strange TB game. They don't have any controls. The lane phase is going to be trash.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the Terrorblade has his purpose maybe post 15-20 minutes, but he's going to have a very, very shitty first 10 minutes in the game. Because he's laning with a freaking Phoenix against a Sand King Mirana. Good luck with that shit, The Phoenix job in the lane is basically just to block the camps and tank the arrow.
Winter, so what is your idea then? You think it's gonna last 15-20 minutes for Terrorblade to get online, or you don't believe in it?
No way, man. This game, he's not gonna have a game, man. This TV.
Okay, Rayur, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with him. I think this is a terrible TB game. They're just getting destroyed on the top lane, and on the game itself, it's one brutal strike, one arrow, epicenter, he's dead.
All right, well, the panel this time agrees completely that Thunder Awaken will take in number 2. Reasons are different. Winter just hates Phoenix support. Rayur thinks this is a bad TV game. And we're going to have to see. I'm joking. I know what you said, Winter. Don't make that face, please. And now we're going to go to see what our casters have to say about this game as we move over to them. Or to me. Thank you, Al. You really messed up that throw, you useless host. Terrible. I understand how this guy gets paid. Anyway, Richie, what do you think of the TV?
What do I think of the TB? I mean, I agree. It's not looking like a super strong TB game.
It's worse than I was hosting.
And its transitions. I mean, I don't really know. I see a lot of things that are really scary. Like the lane is really strong, right? Tiny, I think, is going to be getting online mid with really no issue, right? It's like a Void Spirit mid lane, not the hardest of lanes, much like a Puck. Like the strength of the lane. Sorry?
Like what ganks him? You have Phoenix and what's the other support again?
Yeah, I mean, like, Tiny's definitely getting online. Like, Phoenix can't leave the bottom lane. I mean, maybe he does, because, like, what else is he doing other than just zapping XP? But, like, I don't know. I just don't see how this game goes very well for them, to be honest. Not to mention, like, yes, you have a Viper. Like, here's the saving point. Oh, we've got a Viper. He's gonna ruin one of the lanes. No, he's not. There's an Abba here. He's just gonna dispel the Luna, and then like, what do? It's like, if everything just seems like it's not gone right here for Tempest. I don't know. Like, this could be a game rather, where like Thunder just kind of win all 3 lanes because they're really good. You know, Viper does not play well from behind at all. Dark Mago, maybe he takes a silly death here or there because he likes to walk up, you know, I can tell you which staircase. He likes walking up this staircase all the time whenever he plays Tiny. But, you know, I think he's going to be restrained, and Thunder are going to probably win this game, to be honest. It's a really good draft, again.
It's also the draft that Thunder likes to play, right? Like, they run at you. We, like, force 5-on-5 engagement all the time. It's not going to give any breathing room to TB. I also don't find Void Spirit to be the fastest Spirit Pearl out of all of them. As per usual, they all get a small power spike at level 6, but I think Ember is the fast. I mean, Earth Spirit aside, right? Ember is the fastest, then Storm, and then Void Spirit probably at actually being useful. Yeah, he can get some early ganks, but he falls off kind of quickly until he gets his first big item, whether that be Ags. Recently, we've seen a lot of Witchblade, right, which is a little bit faster. So I do think that Thunder Awaken also have this game. I feel like he also gave him a lot of comfort heroes.
I'd like to see Sebas. I mean, like, if Tempest have a shot in this game, it's going to be solely through him, basically. I just don't see how Awaken is going to have a game at all. Like, it's going to be so difficult. But I'm hoping Sebas goes for the Witchblade or some other fast item that is cheaper than the Ag Scepter. I mean, Yule's just doesn't feel good anymore these days, but maybe even Yule's, even though it's not that much cheaper than the full Ags.
No,
but, like, they need to play fast. Void needs to make space. He needs to be able to take more dangerous farm, because TB is going to probably not have a fun time top. He's going to be very quickly taking all the safe farm on your map. Viper is not going to make a lot of space for you. Like, it needs to be Void.
We are a little bit biased because we just saw DM like absolutely get trashed in the Viper. I feel like this hero, I think Rayur was right. They figured out how to play.
Yeah, I
mean,
and
do in the offlane,
and you have a dispel, like
the Viper.
Like, look, Panda's already. He's like, Aphotic Shield. It's the answer. Like, there's no problems in this lane. Even though Marcy Viper is a phenomenal lane, not to be undervalued here because of the movement speed you get on rebound. You have a solution.
Yep.
Who not even went boots to start? What is this?
Who went boots to start?
Pass.
Oh, actually, clever idea to deal with the Viper. And with the Marcy. I'm not opposed to this. It's all movement speed based spells, right? They have a stun, but it's not like the greatest stun. It's more about the movement, right? So, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess where I'm coming from is I don't think I've ever seen a safe lane core, maybe Bristleback once, maybe, who has ever started with boots. Genuinely. Have you? Because I agree, it makes sense. I'm not like I'm not making fun of it. I think you give it a good reason. I think obviously against a Viper, move speed is good, but I don't think I've ever seen it before. I'm sorry. I think I lost you on Discord there. Hello? Do I have Avo back? Oh, okay. I don't have Avo. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about brown boots.
I just left for 1 second. I'm back, Richie. Sorry.
No. It's okay. I was thinking about brown boots, and I figured you were like gonna be like, yes, this one time I casted a game where this guy went brown boots first item on a safe laner and won. But
what on safe lane? No, I haven't done that in ages. Like, I mean, maybe 8 years ago, because I've been casting for a really long time.
Yeah, no,
but people were bad back then. So.
Yeah, and again, just to reiterate, I don't think this is a bad decision by any means, but I do think it's maybe a little bit overkill. I mean, you're already Luna, you're already one of the faster heroes to start off with. You've got an Abba to dispel. Like, I don't know.
No, I disagree.
You can go with it. Okay.
The reason behind it is, what do you usually go on a lane, right? You go stats. Why? Because you want to last it better, okay? That's the obvious answer. Viper's stats and Luna's stats, like base stats, are kind of similar. Luna has this extra Lunar Blessing to actually add damage, so you're not as stat dependent. You're actually one of the strongest laners at the early levels, and all that they can do against Luna is essentially force a kill. So the boots prevents that. That's pretty much you winning the lane. I think that's logic for Pagaz, and I don't mind it. It's still a hard lane, but you know. It's better than you getting disposed and killed all the time.
Sure, but I could also see a very realistic scenario where all you need as well is simply a Aphotic Shield. Like, I think a Aphotic Shield still covers you in this lane, to be honest. Ruins the Viper, dispels the stun.
Pakast clearly disagrees, right, with that idea. So I don't know. I mean, I would agree with you in theory.
Yeah. And, you know, Luna, I mean, as you can see, they even bully the Viper at back to TP to the tier 1. Like, I mean, it's strong. I don't disagree with the notion, but...
There's another point to be said about Luna, which is Luna is probably one of the worst heroes at utilizing these stat items. Like, she's not... Wraith Band is May on her, right? You don't want to go Bracer or any, or Nulls. So, the best items you can get on her is actually Treads. It's her best early stats item. So with the boots, you don't waste any unnecessary farm on that. And if you think you can have a tough lane, you get an item that helps you scale, and on top of that, you get the most efficient item. So that also might be the logic of Pakaz. That's why he only goes for the Iron Branches, right? Yeah. I mean, we saw Luna Quelling Blade for a while because of how bad the Wraith Bands are in this hero. There really isn't anything to be done for the Wraith Band.
Sure. Yeah, I guess my gripe is over. Oh, maybe start with a Band of Elven Skin instead of boots. Is that really that big of a difference?
I think that Malo might be able to... Oh, no. He had a Fuse Raindrops. He's fine.
Ooh,
Matthew's here.
The
arrow. Matthew. He's baiting it out. He just wants the damage from the arrow there. And Sebas does tank it in the end. Matthew might die for this. They hit him with a Dispose and with the Aether Remnant. But Matthew will feed the first blood as he gets the kill onto Sebas with the last hit.
That's just Slathian. Slathian obviously gets the experience there for the kill. So still, I would say a small win for Tempest. But since it's not at least gold as well, first blood bonus there to the Void Spirit, you're not too displeased with it, I would say, for Thunder. Still kind of sucks, but Dark Mago is going to get his refill. He's got this entire wave to himself. Not the worst possible outcome. Bit aggressive, though, I would say, for Mago. Perhaps unnecessarily so. You know, there will be many more opportunities. Well, I suppose that window is closing with Void Spirit approaching level 6. But I just don't know if he really needs to force it.
I think it's important. It's something that... Wait, Sacred's on a die top. He's just tanking one extra hit from the Phoenix for good measure.
Arrow mid, though. Is pretty good.
Arrow mid. Can they toss him back?
They've already used toss. They used toss to actually hit the arrow.
Paradise to neutrals as Draken was about to get the kill. Panda just creating space for Pakaz. So if you heard Insane's cast at TI, something you mentioned a lot was the idea of like relative timings, right? So like how strong your timing is relative to the enemy hero in your position as arrow. Oh, that's a really good setup. And that kills Sebas. So if we talk about relative timings, Sacred will not be hit by the spirits and will survive. One of the strongest relative timings here. Oh, Sacred's going to turn this around. And you will die to Sacred. What a Burrow Strike play there. On point.
Yeah.
Sorry, one of the strongest relative timings there is the Void Spirit 6 versus Dark Malo 6, right? Because Dark Malo does nothing with that. As you mentioned, he's Blink Dagger. Whereas Void Spirit, it's his first power spike. So the more you delay that relative timing, the more you make it Dark Malo favored, the easier it is for Thunder to survive that small power spike that Void Spirit will get.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that notion, right? But I think like the threat to Mago.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just explaining.
Yeah, I know, I get that. But where I'm coming from is like the threat to Mago, like the opportunity cost, I suppose, for him is like, okay, I get this kill, I slightly delay his timings, but it's not like, I don't know, what's like a lane matchup where like all of a sudden you hit 6 and things get really spicy for Mago. It's not like Kunkka, where like, oh, he's got his boat now. He's got a 400 damage nuke that he can still combo. Maybe that can actually kill me, right?
Right.
Like, Void Spirit, I don't think he still doesn't kill you with the Astral Steps. I get your point, though. Like, you don't want to enable Void Spirit to gank one of your side lanes and then open up the game for him. But, you know, to force it that much, it just felt a little dangerous when they could still apply the same amount of pressure top lane. Same could be said of Phoenix, right? Delay his level 6, as they are, right? They've killed him. But,
yeah, but then I mean, that was more Caillou kind of feeding. But if you do that, then you're still risking the Void Spirit ganking and restabilizing that lane, right? And you want to prevent that. So you're right. That's the role of the Void Spirit, though. You're not meant to destroy your enemy mid laner most of the time.
Most of the time.
When Void Spirit hits 6, he's going to go gank the Sand King, and I don't think Sand King can survive that. So the longer you delay that, the better for you. Tiny's terrible at mirroring rotations, that blink.
Well, it should be said, right? I think if there was a timing for the Void Spirit to go 6, it probably would have been when Kotaro had what's it called? Metamorphosis online. He doesn't have that, regrettably, for about a minute and a half. Still, though, Sacred a bit worse for wear. These Fire Spirits, the damage is pretty bonkers early.
Sand King is pretty terrible early, so I think you can just maybe solo kill him. I don't even think I think with Reflection you're good enough, honestly. I agree, you ideally gank on meta, but I don't think you necessarily need that.
Why was that illusion attacking with meta?
Panda? He's gonna die. Solo to Draken and sliding. Once again, just dying to create space for Pakaz. That's his best play. That's one of the issues Luna has against Viper, by the way. The way to deal Viper in lane is by getting on top of him and just not letting him attack you, pretty much. And Luna being a ranged hero, having more stats, not having the damage block, makes it much harder to accomplish that. So she doesn't really have that offensive potential.
Am I missing something? The Kotaro's illusion, he didn't have meta up. His conjure image illusion was attacking with the meta onto Sacred.
I saw that too. I don't know what that was. I think that's bug. I've never seen that before.
Great. That's significant. This is a kill on to Katyu. Really?
Oh,
I was just informed there by Ryur that they stay with meta. I had no idea.
Has to be right at the end of the meta. Interesting. It's a very specific interaction.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
You know, if anyone would know, it's Brazil, where TB is a national hero.
That is very true. Yeah. We'll go.
It's actually a statue right next to the big Jesus.
Yeah, you've got Terrorblade right next to it. It used to be a Marcy statue, actually, but.
Yeah, if you check out RDO's Instagram, you can find a lot of pictures near it. That's where he had his first wedding. Katyu. He is solo defending top. I feel like this is the objective now for them. Unfortunately, Sanking sucks at pushing, so all he can do is the Timber Saw play of, like, I cut the wave. Whereas Viper is much better at pushing because he actually deals damage. So we'll see what this play is with Thunder. Killing Katyu is okay, but it doesn't necessarily unlock this tower.
Oh, Dark Malgo, know your trees. Here he goes, taking a shortcut. That arrow is, oh my goodness, Dark Malgo. Get in there. Oh, the avalanche just gonna hit. They combo the stuns and one big swing from Tiny. It's going to be a big kill there onto the Phoenix. Sebas rotates in, but, I mean, unfortunately, it was a 100-0 player on the Phoenix. Didn't get a single spell off. Not really in a position to find a kill. Not a super promising rotation, but Slathian is actually coming in. He's got vision set up with the wards. Again, Dark Mago is just a little bit too tanky of a target, really, for him and Sebas to make a play for. So, yeah, this rotation from Sebas not going to pan out into much, Avo. Somewhat troubling.
Yeah. It sucks because I do feel like you have to take advantage of this early game as much as possible before like Malo arms himself. I think once you get the Blink Dagger, Darmao will be 10 times stronger. Yeah, that Regen Rune will be cancelled by Slathian. That's what they're hoping. Darmao, you greedy bastard. You greedy bastard. I cannot believe he actually went for the last hit on that creep. If he dies, it is totally deserved.
Where's TP now, actually?
Look, Panda's just running at him. I wasn't even checking the map. I just knew that as soon as Darmao went up the high ground, Panda was running at him from the other side of the map.
You know, as soon as we loaded in, I said, this is Dark Mago Tiny, and on his signature heroes, he loves fighting around that specific dire staircase when he's on Radiant, and I didn't expect it to pay off quite this early. Normally, the play he likes to go for is just blind blinking up there when his Spidey senses go off.
Yeah. I mean, he got... Oh, he actually got the Marcy here. Thanks to the arrow. That is enough damage. Thunder
really nice job. Yeah, really nice job there. Actually, you know, Marcy into Sand King into these like fast stuns does not feel good. It does take a while for your dispose to come out. And I will say, for as much as I thought that top lane was going to suck, and it certainly did, just ask Katyu, this TB came out of it with fairly good farm, all things considering. He's not, you know, completely shut down. Mago, though, is... well, the Viper is a different story here, as they do smoke gank him. Arrow is going to find its mark, and the toss there to secure the kill.
But Kotaro's here. That's meta this time. They want to fight this, apparently, with Marcy. Moonlight Shadow's been used. There was a dust on Marcy, but Kotaro went the wrong way.
Are they going for Luna?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going for exactly. There's the dispose on Luna. Okay, that was the Luna kill. That Mao also in trouble. He's going to fall here as a result. Double damage on Sebas really helped us out. Nabanan was too late for this engagement. And the one taking advantage of this space is Sacred, which will speed up the Blink Dagger. They did lose the carry in the process.
Yeah, unfortunately, because Viper still manages to take that Tier 1 tower, I want to say relatively early, actually. A bit surprised that he's able to do it before Sand King, considering kind of the difficult laning setup he was in. Sand King just can't rotate in because he's got no opportunity to go for like a epicenter to turn that fight. So good advantage there by Tempest as they utilize their kind of the area on the map that they can play with a bit better there. Yep. Major kills.
It's a good use of the Viper, because early, all the Viper can do is essentially tank ganks, right? And hope to survive them, and if he doesn't, then at least you get counter kills. So, yeah, not bad.
Sure.
I still think, though, that you're playing when Thunder hasn't hit their timings at all, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it matters to Thunder, of course, because they don't want to keep losing heroes like this, but they're not the strongest they'll be. Whereas I do feel like there's a small power spike for Tempest, and now we're going to need the big items. What is Sebas building, by the way? He hasn't started building a single item yet.
No, he hasn't, right? He's only just chilling on 400 gold, just the bottle and no talisman. I do think it should be Witchblade still for the record. We'll see what he ends up queuing up, but for now, that first timing here that you're speaking about is going to be Mago's Blink Dagger. He's about to finish it here with this Creep Wave, and then I would expect to see Thunder kind of smoke up, but they'll do so now, actually. They're going to preempt it.
Sacred.
And that's actually because Sacred has was. Yeah, thank you for...
Yeah, so they both have blinks. I can understand the smoke. I would have personally just waited for the Malo to get it, but I also understand that maybe right now forcing like more numerous engagements is hard.
Phoenix is free, right? So might as well.
Exactly. Nope. Sacred more or less knows where Phoenix is. Matthew needs a clear angle, sentry to get some vision. Okay, there's the use of the ward.
They did get past this ward, by the way. So Katyu, I mean, he's going to read the map, but he's got no real reason to think that there's going to be a gank coming from this direction. Oh, no. That's still
they canceled the Icarus dive, actually.
Oh no, the arrow was late.
TPing immediately, but the
Oh my god.
Oh no, Sacred.
Oh.
Alright. That was not
rough.
That was not
That was rough.
and it's like that's not the play they're looking for. Panda will just now rotate to break a smoke. Pretty good play actually by Panda.
Yeah, waste the Sunray as well. Oh, they're gonna Viper Strike his ass.
Like Malo do not go in, that's gonna be Panda's sacrifice here. Or maybe in the high ground, Panda lasting a fair amount of time. One last miscoil before he dies. Thanks to the Mask of Madness, Pakaz can kind of fight this. The support for support, not that bad. Blink Dagger available in 4 seconds for Dark Malo.
Yeah.
They're going for the Draken. Draken, really? Toss up. They don't have any stuns. Matthew's caught. One last Starstorm. Draken dies. In exchange for Matthew, though, Sebas still has that Astral Step. Eclipse has been triggered, but Sebas got away in time, so...
Oh, Mago's not done.
Malo.
The staircase.
Oh no, he hit the Avatar, but he misses the Avatar. Malo just got jebaited. The tip. Malo will die. No Panda to save him.
What did I say, dude? Because they know about the staircase. They have 2 wards here as well, so there's absolutely nowhere that Mago could go. You know, the one highlight there I'll say for Thunder is that Pakaz joining the fight actually makes quite a big difference. He's maxed Moonglaves, right? This is the efficient Luna farming build of days past that we used to see all the time. And that was just 2 heroes. I think it was just Viper and Void Spirit chilling right next to each other with Glaives bouncing in between. So Luna gets out a ton of damage, especially for how much you'd expect early. Like, she uses Eclipse here, but Eclipse, like, maybe hits once, and she still does the most damage in the fight. So really, really good job there for Luna.
Smoke now by Tempest. I was seeing... someone's went for...
What is this? Yeah, I know. It's...
Okay. Right?
What is it?
Did he build the whole thing?
It's got to be... No. It's got to be Witchblade. He doesn't have the money. He's very poor,
But why is Axe queued up? Is he just going Blitz Knuckles into Axe?
No, it's got to be Witchblade. This is too expensive an item, I think, for you to just get. And Void Spirit does not benefit from this whatsoever compared to some other heroes.
No, I agree. Oh, that was not the best use of the Dispose. Or, there you go. That's the Dispose. Saved by the Aphotic Shield. That Mago looks so much better when Panda's near him. And when Panda's not here, he feels pretty weak.
That's why there's a team, you know?
Yeah, honestly. Longest standing team members, actually.
Yeah, since the Omega days, right?
Yep. Mago. And that's a good rotation for Draken,
oh,
but
wow.
They're fighting with the Epicenter. I don't know if that's going to work out. Panda activates that ultimate, but doesn't have the axe here to help out his team. Mago has to run away. The egg is dangerous. Matthew misses the arrow. They kill him with an Aphotic Shield. The supports will finish off Draken, but in exchange, they've lost 3.
Oh my god.
Not the team fight they were looking for as Pakaz finally joins. Kotaro wants to push his tower solo. Pakaz doesn't have the Eclipse. Activates Mask of Madness. I don't know about this one. Mago got sniped off. Weird plays by Thunder.
Yeah, very, very poor fighting for a team that we're used to seeing a little bit better from, to be honest. I don't know. I guess maybe it's all in the name for the Luna here, and Pakaz is going to end up carrying the game. He's got the full Manta style up. Sebas scouts him, though.
Pakaz?
Oh, but Pakaz, he's baiting him back into the Sentry? He is? Oh, what a gamer!
Oh, wow. That was so inconspicuous, man. That was such a well-played game by Pakaz.
I'll tell you what, Pakaz, you know, very little, you know, commonly overlooked thing. This Lunar Blessing Max now gives you 1,000 extra night vision. So while most of the heroes at nighttime would not see that coming because of the placement of the Sentry Ward, Pakaz actually saw that coming quite literally a mile away. So that was really, really cool by him.
That was really well played. I loved as well that he like turned ever so slightly so you get the Lucent Beam stun off, right? Yeah. Without having to turn afterwards after you activate the Eclipse.
So cheeky, man.
So good.
I loved it. There goes Phoenix. He must return to his people. Very balanced. He could just go off the map.
Yep. All right, Seven's Witchblade though is gonna be so late. I don't know if this item is that impactful anymore. Seriously, it's 20 minutes Witchblade against an Abaddon. I don't know, man.
In case you needed
I
more
would
evidence
just rather
there.
just see him get Ags at this point and just.
I mean,
commit to
it's hard, especially after seeing how much he did with that one Resonant Pulse. It's hard for me to go, yeah, you should definitely go Witchblade, but like it's far too late. You've committed already. Like there's no way, there's no turning back now. Yeah. I agree. I mean, it is a late Witchblade into an ABBA. Yep, point granted, but I just don't see any other way for you to make space early now. You gotta commit at this stage, and they've got a ward here. This could be good.
Oh, okay, they actually both got away. Where was the dispose? Nothing.
Let's take a little bit of time to come out. Be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Marcy doesn't do too many back exercises. Charging the suplex is not easy. Suplex? Suplex?
Suplex.
Suplex. Okay.
Almost Aether Lens on Marcy as well actually is going to do a lot to help her out here. Part of the reason is that they've just been able to walk away from her. It is melee cast range basically here on Dispose. So the Aether Lens greatly increases your catch. In fact, you can see they're giving her a little bit of space and time to farm. And now it's on the way. Could be just big enough an item on its own, really, to help put Thunder out of position here for an upcoming fight. So this Phoenix Supernova also proven to be quite an issue here. Pakaz hasn't been like fully engaged in these fights. He's kind of just showing up towards the tail ends of them. So I have to assume he's going to be a difference maker. That arrow almost caught you.
It's also good because he just threw the tree at the Viper. It's good as well because he waits for the Mirage to commit to the fight, right? By going in and leaping, and then he supernovas afterwards. So he's been playing a pretty good Phoenix game because that's the other
spell
egg
usage,
hitter, right?
Very true. Oh, and they're going to kill. Speaking of the egg hitter.
Yep. There's the Witchblade. Ah, yeah, the ping of the ward, mate, immediately.
The thing that kind of sucks about that is, well, not this deep into the map, but, you know, occasionally there's a point to be made there as a support if you're Tempest to reward that. The Thunder might not check it, but on their own side of the map, the risk is too high.
Mago? There's a different steps that he died this time. I'm not sure what he was doing there after, like, them, like, pushing down mid lane. I don't know why he was still in the triangle farming.
Yeah, a bit of a needless risk, as Pakaz is a bit risky here as well. So
Pakaz makes sense, because he farms like further away from the enemy, so at least, worst case, he at least forces rotation and dies, right? Whereas Tiny, you're like, oh, you want an extra snack after you've killed Mirage?
Yeah, come into my triangle. Maybe you'll find a stack of Ancients or two.
Yeah, it's like some sort of weird Doritos promotion he's doing here. I don't really understand why he had to do that.
Doritos, interesting.
Yeah, because they're triangles, right?
Oh, they are triangles. Very good point. You know
what?
what?
They're also kindling.
They should definitely, and they're corn chips. They should definitely sponsor some Dota. Could you imagine? You know, yeah, the sponsor integration is here. They go into the Doritos power triangle.
Tarkmago is gonna try to find Draken. There's the BKB though by Draken. That's gonna protect him from any initiation. Moonlight Shell to disengage. I would love that.
I think it makes sense. Brandify Dota a little bit more. Oh, Dark Mago's in. Oh, he found the Phoenix. Can he get off the Supernova? He does, but surrounded by enemies. He is going to find himself very dead. The jump in from Slathen, but he cannot dispose Pakaz, who's BKB'd, and now Sacred has found Kotaro. He needs a Sunder target, but he's going to be stunned 100-0 there, essentially. And Thunder just run down Tempest. It looks so easy. Dark Mago just blinks in and kicks it all off.
I feel like Pakaz is online, though. That's why they're playing. Like, he just got BKB and Manta Style. That made a huge difference. I mean, Manta Style he had for a while, but like the BKB is the big turning point. TB takes much longer to get online, and TB also went for a Scotty, which I get because you're there to deal with Luna. But without the BKB, the Tiny and Sand can just shred you. So I do got a question. Either I think it was Yasha Scotty BKB, or just straight up Manta BKB. I don't know if the Scotty could be afforded.
I've got to agree with you there. I think it's fine, and this is a viable item build on TB in certain lineups, and maybe there's a justification for one this game, but I don't really think so. I think your team's been doing a pretty decent job so far fighting without you. This fight was probably going to be a loss no matter what because of like naturally the drafts. And Scotty, I don't think was going to make much of a difference here. Whereas that's a full BKB already for the same amount of gold. I don't know. Maybe you show up and fight. Maybe you don't. Maybe you farm. I don't know. I agree. I think it's the wrong build this game. We'll see what he can turn it into. Perhaps that'll be useful against the Abba's heals, or this eventually Satanic, which is queued up next year for Pakaz. Against the Holy Locket, it'll feel good. Panda actually decides to go into the Holy Locket first. I believe reason being that he doesn't have to hard counter something like a Chronosphere this time around. He's useful just as a walking dispel.
Sacred. Oh, what? Sebas actually dissimulated forward. They were not expecting that, that's for sure. In the middle of this fight is Pakaz, who still has his BKB. They forced the BKB out in the Viper. Eclipse has been committed. Sebas is not getting out of this one with his life intact. As Sacred tries to charge the epicenter. Aha, it was a bait. Instead, he goes for the Berserk of the Slathing and finishes him off. And Katyu dies in the backlines to Pakaz.
Yeah, just ran down there on the Phoenix, unfortunately. I mean, not really a great opportunity to use Supernova with the Luna right in front of you. So he is going to go down. And that's going to be another teamfight loss here for Tempest. That's tier 2s, most likely here, in favor of Thunder as a result.
There's a couple people right now who are obviously watching with delay, who are making fun of the panel for saying this is a bad TB game, and I just can't wait for these actions to happen. We're like, yeah, I think it is. I think it's a tough TB game.
No, I mean, it certainly is, and I think his decision to not go for a BKB early to kind of help alleviate that is certainly, you know, going to make that point worse, right? It's going to exacerbate it, but I mean, still, I think there are other issues even if the BKB is online. This could be promising, though.
I think he's just losing his first life, apparently, here. He was willing to do that. There's the tower gone. Pakaz, I think he's BKB, though, and he's healing back up. He's going to be perfectly fine, it seems like, as the one to die is Draken. Someone help the Tiny, though. The Scotty is too powerful. Pakaz, what are you doing? Just running around the trees. He's actually been kited. Where's the help from the rest of the team? Baden is tanking for now, but he's not going to last for too long. The Berserk from Sacred, they go for the TV this time. Kotaro could be in trouble. He thought potentially the Sunder. Sees Sacred up in the air, but Sacred, no more magical damage for him to deal, as Pakaz is trying to kill the rest of the team. Now it's TV versus Luna. Matthew runs away. Don't give Kotaro any chance to Sunder. There, he got it, Pakaz. We'll have to fight him head on, and he'll get him. He'll get him with a Starstorm, die in the process. Matthew also falls. Team wipe versus team wipe. Only one person lives, and it's Sebas. What? Why? Why did they commit to that play, Richie? Was there any need to do that?
I do not know why Thunder. I mean, like, that was great focus fire by them because they went Viper, 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 kill the Viper, kill the Viper, and then they, I mean, just it completely blocked everything out, including the literal sun, which was burning them alive, and ended up allowing the TB to come and just wreck that team fight there. The Scotty looked really good there, didn't it? As he comes in with the attack speed and the move speed slow, which is especially brutal now towards the Luna. And yeah, that was just pain for them. That was pain. I can't believe he just walks around the tree twice.
He just kited the Luna the whole fight.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that doesn't happen anymore once Luna has Shard, but like, why? Panda did so much work to keep him alive. Like, the entire reason Pakaz is even alive here is because Panda just tanks the Viper to run in and ensure that he's able to actually get off the Aphotic Shield. It was a really good dispose. That's certainly a benefit that Marcy brings to her team, even more so with with Aether Lens, as she can kind of, you know, further displace enemies and make life difficult for Panda. But he insisted. He got in there and healed her on the first life, and
yeah,
not the best use of it, unfortunately. Matthew does evade the Aether Remnant somehow there. Well done.
I mean, I wasn't opposed to the play. I think the DK was a fine usage. I just think, like, what was that fight to begin with?
Oh, and Matthew, they maybe catch Sebas here. Okay,
second Yules? Oh,
yeah,
he did it? Nice job. I think Sebas is still going to live, though. Another burst strike in a second. 3 more seconds to the blink. Chasing is Matthew. I don't think they get to him. We'll try
he's out of there. He's out of there.
Did you see how perfect that ping from Matthew was? On point.
Yeah. I am not sure why they used him twice, because that was Marana's Yules and that was Sancake's Yules. This Void Spirit does not have a Yules. And that is 5 total seconds. I mean, sure, the 2.5, the first one is unavoidable for the setup, of course. But the second one is just 3 seconds, roughly, where he's getting his cooldowns back. It's a big deal.
Baden?
Baker's thinking about making the jump in. They're going to bail from this one, actually, and just sacrifice the Abba.
I think that's the best play. Not always do you have to take every single fight, and I think Thunder is learning that. That's good.
I think they just think it's funny when Panda dies, honestly. Like, let's let him die. Gordo. There he goes. I mean, case in point, they reinitiate
Did you just
here.
call Panda the fat one?
That's what he calls himself. So the team calls. So the team calls him. Sand King used up in the air, gets off the essence, or sorry, it is the essence ring. Pardon, but it's still going to be a quick and easy kill there for the Void Spirit, especially now that he's got Axe Scepter fully online.
I just thought that's a weird comment, you know, but I get where you're coming from.
Oh, they go, haha, El Gordo, he died again, you know, that's what Thunder says, and then they reinitiate when he's still dead.
all of Thunder have nicknames, right?
They've got they have nicknames for each other, absolutely.
Yeah. For Beast Coast, it's mostly animals. For Thunder, is mostly despective parts about each other. Like they call Sacred the Smurf, but like the actual Smurf because he's so small.
He is short.
Or Sacred, or Pacaz's Tortilla.
Pacaz's Tortilla? Really? Why?
I don't know what that comes from. I forgot as well. Yeah.
Ah.
That Kamago is the handsome one. That's entirely the ironic term for him.
Come on, dude.
And Matthew is bald. That's just what they call him. It's not even the bald one. It's just bald.
Mago? He's got BKB here, so he can afford to take a little bit of damage, especially with Matthew giving chase. Sentry placed, though, so Tempest in a good position to turn here. But they won't. Especially with TB currently farming the bottom lane. Feels the need to go for an MKB, preempting a potential butterfly, and that's because, of course, there is this quarterstaff in the inventory of the Luna. As a result, though, they're still going to lose themselves this Phoenix, and perhaps even Viper, who finds himself in a very poor position here. No mana either. Buyback from Phoenix. They're going to look to fight this. Still no TB, though. He hasn't started even the teleport in. Now he's going to TP in, but he's the second to TP to the tower, so it's a long teleport. They've lost the Viper. Picasso's full HP, still has BKB. It's a dieback now on the Phoenix. Sebas covers his retreat, but TB's in trouble. I mean, they had to take this fight. He TP'd into this one. He's got BKB. He does not have Metamorphosis. Why are Tempest taking this fight? Slathian is going to go in and dispose of the Luna. Force Staff is going to do nothing there. As in goes back in Sebas. It's just a dead... A dieback there. What?
People
Why?
dead.
Why are they taking this fight? I just cannot believe it.
Okay, Pacaz actually went around this tier 2 tower 4 times, mate. There's no way that's a really serious fight. His BKB is still off cooldown. What are we watching? I actually think Sladin saved Drakil 3 times in that fight, and then Drakil just went back in to die. The discipline was certainly lacking from that engagement.
I don't know why they took the fight. Like, TB lives, thankfully. TB lives, but the fact that he's the third one to TP to the tier 2 tower without meta?
I think it's over.
What are you going to do in that fight? 2 diebacks?
Now, I guess. Oh, Sebas going in.
But there's BKB. Pacaz, he's not going to use this BKB at all. Okay, maybe he will.
Oh, there's Gotaros. Pesender, though, catches Sebas. That's a dieback as well for Sebas. Gotaro activates his BKB. Go for Sacred. Sladin stuck in the sandstorm. There's the use of the egg.
The game's over.
Ancient's done. I
just like I don't want to harp on it, but it just like all signs were pointing to do not fight there for Tempest. Like, because at this stage it's all about your TB. Like, your team fight's pretty decent. It's not terrible. Your Viper, sure, he's got BKB. He's not awful, and Void Spirit has Ags. Like, okay, acceptable. But like, the entire enemy team is there. You don't have your damage dealer. He doesn't have his damage dealing ability. I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit of panic setting in there for Tempest, but Thunder Awakening just kind of end up forcing a fight and completely win off the back of that.
I just don't think... so we saw this lack of discipline as well for SG versus Infinity, right? And I think this lack of discipline works with those teams because with Beast Coast and with Thunder Awaken, I think now Infamous can join those ranks too. Maybe even Hokori. The lack of discipline is a fake idea. Like, it's more like when OG, you see them fight and you think there's no discipline. That's not true, right? They have a very good idea of the game at all times. And if you fall into that trap, you think, oh, this game is just chaos, like they're all making mistakes, you're gonna fall into Thunder Awaken's trap, because they're at every single point. If you watch their chill mics, which they release on YouTube, at every point it's either Matthew or Pakaz calling if this is a good fight or a bad fight, and Magmao going, let's go in, no matter what. But like those two people make sure that the team fights go the way that Thunder Awaken is planning, and they always have a bunch of things in their control, whether it be the ultimates, the Roche timings, the respawns, etc., etc., etc. And it feels like it's easy to get dragged into that chaos. I think Wolf Team, for example, is another team that kind of that corroborates that, but you can't get tricked into thinking they're doing the same thing you are. Like you said, you're fighting without ultimates or BKBs in the wrong spots. Thunder Awaken is thinking about each fight. Just because they make it look chaotic does not mean it's truly chaos. The lack of a BKB usage from Pakaz in that fight shows how in control they are.
Yeah, no, very, very true. I think he didn't even have it active by the time of the game. It just focuses down the Ancient because they know this is a one fight. I mean, it's a one game.
I mean,
I don't know where that needs to come from Tempest. I'm not a coach. I've never played on a professional team, but like someone has to say something on Tempest. Like that cannot be like even if it's Kotaro and he's still being overruled. Like someone has to step up and be like, this is not a fight. Like we can't take it.
It's difficult though. I've seen the situation when I've seen South American teams, and I've talked to people that coach, especially Division 2 teams, right? And this team currently is composed of like two sides, right? You have the Wu Minos, or Wu Kotaro, which is the old squad of Lava, right? They played together for a long time. Wu is definitely a very veteran captain. People respect him. But then you have three, I want to say new players. Slavin and Drekil are like kind of in the middle, and then Seba is completely new, right? Being able to teach them authority, especially with Wu's style, is tough. Wu's just not the kind of guy. Wu's the guy that explains things to you. Wu's the guy that makes sure you understand. Like, he's a teacher. That's what he is. He really is a teacher. He's not the captain that, like, tells you, you did listen to me or I kick you from the team. That's not his style. And with some of the new youngins, you just kind of have to have someone that does that at the beginning to just be like, you got to just learn discipline. And then eventually you can do that. So it is what's missing from Tempest. It's the second game that's happens to them.
You hate to see the game end like that. Like, especially if you're, like, tempted, obviously, because, like, that's not indicative of how the game was going. That was just such a bad way for them to end the game, for them to lose the series. And, like, I do think that they could have brought a much better fight towards Thunder, towards the end of it. And it's just a shame that they never even got to test it, right? Because now they don't know.
No, I agree. I do feel like the TB pick though also was like just really tough. It was just a really tough TB game. And once the Sanking and the Tiny got online, lack of BKB also wasn't the best choice. But we'll go to the panel and see what they have to say about this game, as we also set up an interview with Thunder Awaken, and hopefully they will join us today. So let's go over to Winter and Ryu. Oh, guys, you're right. You're right both times. Trusted Thunder Awaken. Do you feel, after seeing the series, that it was a little bit of an outclassing? Like Thunder Awaken is a tier above Tempest right now?
Yeah, 100%. The major experience and the player experience on Thunder Awaken, like Tempest, just on the players, I don't think Tempest has a chance. But overall, I don't want to say, but the last fight was a disaster, man.
It was terrible.
There was missing someone there, you know, a captain to say something. Hello, guys, don't go, don't fight, do this, do that. Most of the times, the carry try to do these calls. Like, I don't want to fight now. I want to fight after this item and etc. And I just think we missed some Kotaro this game, you know? He had the net worth, but he was never giving some impact on TB.
Yeah, definitely the last fight kind of... I don't even think it's like whether you have a captain or not. It's the player's responsibility. Hey guys, I don't have meta. Get back. You need to keep reminding your team that I don't give a shit what you're doing. I'm not coming to the fight. You can fight all you want. I am not coming. It has to come from the player.
Why does your accent grow thicker when you do that, Winter? What just happened there? You went like full Malaysian there.
Just trying to make a point.
Okay. Have you been in those teams, Winter? Like, what happens? Have you ever been in a team where there's like a lot of new blood that's not as experienced, and you're part of the old guard? How do you tame those horses, those wild stallions?
Get so tired, you know. You have to tell them A, B, C, D, E, F, G until Z. It's too much work for one person.
I know you told me a long time ago that like sometimes for high-level Immortal players, right, pubs teach you bad habits for competitive. You feel like you still think
for sure. You have to play the wrong way to get high MMR, but when you go into a team game, you cannot play that way anymore. And some players, they can adjust, but some players, they can't. I've been playing all my life in pubs this way, this exact way that allows me to gain MMR. But you're telling me now when I go into a team game, I cannot play that way anymore. Oh, I'm gonna change.
But what's the
time.
difference though? Can you like detail it for us? What do you mean with the wrong way?
That's a lot of like small little things like habits. Like in pubs, you can take that one extra wave. Like you see in a professional game, right? Usually players don't take so much risk. Like the best carry players, like usually you take that one extra wave, it's gonna cost you to die. Like in a pub, you tend to be able to get away with it because the opponent, they are not as good as punishing people compared to a organized game. So then when you play too much of those games, you build a habit that, oh, I can always take this wave of creeps here past the dangerous line. Then you have this habit. Then when you do it in a competitive game, then oh my god, you die in an important time and you lose the game.
Yeah, I think one of the major difference too is the pick-off. So you can always go for a pick-off and try to get kill that support that's far away, you know. And on the competitive, most of the times you're going to get baited and you're going to die. So you need to be aware.
Right, so it's a general conception that you can take more risks, you can get away with more in pubs. But is that because you feel like you have to carry your team more in pubs? Is that what the logic comes from, Winter? Like you have to do more in pubs to win, and compared if you have a team?
Yeah, for sure. That's also a factor because you need to. You heard that so many times. Why am I with 4 bots in the game? You know, the classic carry is saying that.
Right.
But in a team environment, you actually have to be able to use your teammates. Like I think Ryo mentioned just now, like you don't really feel Kotaro in the game. Like he wasn't really like using his team. Like a good example would be like the previous game when Dark Mago was playing Leshrac and he knew that the Abaddon was coming to help him. Like he wasn't there yet, but he knew that he had this like few seconds time frame to bait the enemy team to think that, oh, we can actually kill him. But then the Abaddon arrived at precisely the right time to save him, and they turned the fight around. You don't see these things with Kotaro, and at this in Dota right now, like being a core is not just about, okay, I can farm XXX item in this timing, I'm the fastest, I'm the best. No, it's all about how well you can use your teammates, how well you can communicate with each other, and how you can bring out the best from them.
Okay, I love that comment as you make that point. I'm interested to see how Thunder Awaken sees the game, as we have an interview with Panda here ready for us.